By the way, I get DMs now. Oh my God. Oh my, oh my. How do I discover my soul purpose? Okay. Unable to remember what we're here to do because number one, to save the baby from getting overwhelmed by so much knowledge which they cannot carry out because they're still tiny and fragile. Two, maybe your soul purpose is not yet ready to be carried out. Three, it's because you are not yet spiritually awakened. Take accountability of your own spirituality. Your journey is your journey. You can never share it with anybody else. In as much as you can have your guru or your teacher or your guide or whatever it is that person you're using to guide you through your spiritual journey, they are not you. They are not in your journey. They are not in your path. They are just there to assist you. Even then, do not disclose everything to these people because they may not be genuine light workers. Even if they are not on your path, so they cannot understand every nitty-gritty. So take full control and accountability of your own spiritual journey. This is your unique identity. It's your fingerprints. Stop advertising your fingerprints to everybody. They will steal your identity. Meditate, pray, or do whatever really. Nobody is here to judge you. Nobody knows right and wrong, really. It's just morals and societal norms and standards which were crafted by people. So we're not here to judge you on how you tap into the spiritual realm or your God space, as long as nothing and nobody is hurt in the process and you are content with the consequences. Then who are we to judge, right? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Element. I love having you back. For returning viewers, I humbly welcome you. For newcomers, welcome. To subscribe. On this channel we address controversial matters, so it's highly possible that you will not resonate with what I'm talking about here, and if you don't, it's okay to just pass by. You're not forced to resonate with me. It just means that this video wasn't your truth, right? And if this video is your truth, then it means that you are taking the baton from me and running the race forward, which means that I'm giving you information, and instead of you just sitting down and accepting the information, you go and meditate, pray, and sit down with yourself on how this information can be tailor-made for you, can resonate 100%, you can suit you the way it's supposed to, right? So I am the beacon of light, channeling element. Welcome back. I am wearing myself today as usual, just as I always say that every time you see me wearing earrings in my videos, just know that they're by me. If you are interested in buying them or learning how to learn them, these are the handles. Just feel free to DM me. Let's get to the point. So today we're going to talk about how to discover your purpose, how to discover your soul purpose, right? So I've been getting DMs. By the way, I get DMs now. Oh my God. Oh my, oh my. Right, I get DMs now, and I got like 3 DMs asking the same question as to how do I discover my soul purpose. Okay, today we're going to be addressing that, right? As I always say, there is no one size fits all. There is no one way, one passage, dogma or principles or strict rules to follow. No, each and every individual is built, made to follow their own individual route, because my route can never be your route. Hence, I always say that if you resonate with what I'm saying, do not just take my information as is. Develop it further to suit your route, your path. This spiritual route thing is like fingerprints. No two people share the same path. Even if you're twins, even if you're mother and child, you can never share the same path, right? So I am just going to give you basics or a guidance of some sort on how to carry out this journey, this spiritual journey, and discover your soul purpose, right? The first thing I always say in every video of mine is that you have to pray and meditate. I don't know, whatever you feel like you can do to be in touch with your higher self. There are a lot of things we do. Some people get visions. Some people, I'm not encouraging use of psychedelics, but most people believe in using psychedelics to tap into their higher selves. I'm not judge. I'm not a judge. I'm not here to be Judge Judy. I'm not here to judge people on how they tap into their spirituality. But as long as you know the consequences, you are content with the consequences, and this process doesn't hurt anything or anyone, then who am I to say what is right and wrong, right? So whatever you do that helps you tap into that God space of yours, right? That helps you tap into hearing or feeling content. I don't know how to put it, but once you're in your divine state, you just know. This method works for most people, meditation, whereby you just sit down, distractions aside, leave your phone, go for a quiet space, go to a quiet space, just be alone with your thoughts, and just sit still and listen to your thoughts. Your thoughts, we may think that, no, it's just something I'm thinking about. No, we're here to channel souls. We're here to channel our spirituality into the physical realm. So whatever comes to your mind means that it's coming from your higher self. It's coming from your spiritual realm. It's coming from your spiritual being, right? So these intuitive thoughts, these things that just come as thoughts in our minds, are actually our higher selves in communication, in contact with us. Let me just say that we're basically puppets. These bodies, these vessels we use in the physical realm are basically puppets. Without the soul, without the spirit, without what we're channeling, it's basically dead, rotten meat. That's why every time you die, this thing is called a body, because it's useless now. There's nothing inside. It's just a vessel, an empty vessel containing nothing. Hence, it's called a corpse, a body, right? So every time you get these thoughts, it's actually your spiritual person, your higher self, right, in contact with you. So we have to sit down with your thoughts. Do not be afraid of your thoughts. Sometimes they may be really scary and you just wish to run away from them, but you cannot run away from your thoughts, can you? Right? So you just have to sit down with your thoughts and, yeah, right on. Right? And sometimes you may go through what we call what people call the dark night of the soul. I call it the dark night of the ego, because it's the ego that is going through those turmoils, right? The soul is actually striving, but the ego is being confused and it's actually losing its grip. So it's actually the dark night of the ego. I choose to call it that, right? So you may go through that, and most people, that's where most people go crazy, literally crazy, and that's when most people literally die, because it's very, very tormenting. I will talk about awakening soon. The process of awakening, it's a phase mostly in the dark night of the ego. So yeah, I will talk about it. So be careful. You need a mentor. If you don't need a mentor, then you need to take it slow, right? So let's get to it, right? Meditation. It's just sitting down with the thoughts, whatever. Like, just listen to your thoughts. Sleep. I don't know. However, you choose to just be quiet and listen to your mind rumbling and taking whatever you can do first. Take it one step at a time, slowly but surely. Do not rush into things, or else your awakening will be brutal, right? A purpose, what we call a purpose. It's that thing, that task, that divine task you were assigned in the spiritual realm to come and do in the physical realm. Because, as I normally say, there is this saying from the Egyptian Kemet, the Egyptians or Kemet, saying as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without, as without, so within. So whatever happens in the physical realm should be reciprocated in the spiritual realm, and whatever happens internally should be reciprocated externally. So the reason why we come into the physical realm is because when we're in the spiritual realm, we see that there is a need of something, or of something to be altered in the physical realm. So we come here to do it. But then we forget when we get into the physical realm, because there is this form of transition that happens from the spiritual to the physical, which kind of brainwashes you so that you're not overwhelmed when you get to the physical realm. Imagine a baby with so much knowledge, how much he or she could be overwhelmed by so much knowledge, not knowing how to tackle this thing, not knowing how to even start, because physically they are unable to even carry out these tasks, right? So this baby can be extremely overwhelmed. Sometimes it's because this purpose of yours is not supposed to be executed maybe until 2030, and you came into this world 2010, 20 years later. So it means that this information will be put on hold until you are spiritually awakened, or until it's time for it to be executed. And when it's time, your spiritual awakening, if it hasn't been taking place since birth or any time before the purpose, I'm afraid your spiritual awakening will be very abrupt and painful, the kind that kills. I'm sorry, but that's why I'm saying everybody should start preparing for their purpose even when they do not know what it is, which means that you should start being in touch with their spiritual selves from the word go, so that whenever the purpose is awaiting to be executed, you are found ready, right? So, yes, that's why we forget our soul purpose when transmitting from the spiritual realm to the physical realm. Because, one, as a baby, you're not physically fit to carry it out, so you'll be overwhelmed by this knowledge. And two, it's possible that it's not yet time. And three, it's possible that it's because you're not yet spiritually awakened, right? So, it's waiting for a spiritual awakening. Exactly. So it's possible that you may be awakened, but then it's not your time, right? So it's possible sometimes that it's time. That's when your spiritual awakening will be forced and abrupt, right? And very, very painful. Never be depressed, or never push or try to fast forward your purpose, right? Because it will come, right? It will come to you. In the meantime, just try to spiritually awaken yourself. Try to grasp as much knowledge as you can. Try to associate yourself with spiritual gurus and guides. Just try by all means, just to be spiritually aware, because it's possible that maybe your task or your purpose is to just be spiritually awakened, so that you're ready for the next life, if there is a next life, right? So that you're ready for whatever will take place after death. Maybe that is just your purpose, just to be spiritually awakened. Sometimes the purpose is still coming, so it's wise to be ready for it, as I've said. And sometimes maybe your purpose has already passed. You were supposed to do it when you were young, and your spiritual awakening maybe happened, and it was really abrupt and painful, but you survived, and you call it childhood traumas and all that. And now it's too late for you to carry it out, but it doesn't mean that your life is now null and void. No, it just means that that ship has sailed. But then normally a purpose, once executed, is then propelled forward. Let me make an example, because maybe you may never understand it. Let's say I came into this world to make, yes, I was sent into this world to make a bag, just that one bag. And that one bag will be a result of a shift, a global shift. I'm making an example. I don't know how, but I'm just making a silly example, right? So once I make this bag, it means that I've literally fulfilled my purpose, right? But then the purpose has been fulfilled. But how will this bag be a result of a global shift, right? Which means that now I'm supposed to advertise this bag, market this bag, glorify this bag. I don't know, just do something so that it's known globally, and it is a result of a global shift, right? My purpose was just to make this bag, full stop, which means that I've literally executed my purpose, mission accomplished. But then now I have to see the process through, right? So it's possible that maybe you missed your sole purpose, but then somebody else maybe came to carry it out on your behalf, or maybe so that somebody in the spiritual realm so that you didn't execute your soul purpose and then volunteered to clean up your mess. Let's call it that, right? And then after that person has done it, maybe that person dies because he or she was just here to clean up your mess, right? And then actually redeemed and get to carry it through. Maybe you were meant to make this bag when you were like 10 years old, and now you're like 30 years old, and you have eventually tapped or awakened your kundalini and tapped into your spirituality. Now the bag has been made, and now it's just waiting for its marketing, right? And the person who's made it has died, which means that it's your turn to carry your initial load, right? So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, that sometimes your spiritual purpose has passed, the ship has sailed, but then you're still alive. It means that it's either you have another purpose, or your purpose has been taken care of, but by that person who has sacrificed their being, their vessels, for you, right? So do not turn their legacy down. That's why I always advocate for a spiritual awakening, because you never know when your purpose will pounce on you, or when it's already too late, or when a lot of people have been, not people, where a lot of vessels, like physical vessels, how many have been sacrificed just for your purpose. You're busy living in this realm, given second chances, third chances, a billion chances for you to wake up and actually see your purpose through, but then you're still not spiritually awakened to see it through. So I'm an advocate for spiritual awakening, really, because that's when you actually get to understand, identify, and acknowledge your soul purpose, and be able to carry it through with guidance from your higher self. And again, refrain. I will always echo this. Refrain from entrusting people with your purposes. Refrain from entrusting people with your spiritual lives. Oh my, oh my. They are not on your path, and it's not everybody who is a genuine light worker. Even if they are light workers, they're not on your path. Just, I cannot emphasize this enough. Just take accountability for your spirituality, right? Meditate, pray, even if the answer is not yet understood. Just keep on keeping on until the answer is understood. Never give up. Spirituality is not a straight line. Spirituality is not found in people, in gurus. Spirituality is not found somewhere out there. It's found from within. It's in you. Pray, meditate, tap into your God space. Communicate with your higher self. Communicate with Source. Be a regular. I cannot emphasize this enough. Spirituality is not found in people. Spirituality is unique to you. It's your spiritual journey. It's yours. Take full control of it. People out there are not your friends. Not everybody is out there to genuinely help you. Not everyone out there is a genuine light worker. Have a guide, have that tutor of some sort, but do not then play your whole life before them. No, just go there and be like, I feel like I'm stuck here and there. Can you help me out? Right? But do not disclose everything. Just disclose the basic information. Like, I'm stuck here, 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 here. Do not reveal your dreams. Why are you telling people about your dreams? Right? I was also a victim of that, but then I learned as I moved along. I was literally told by my higher self that stop telling people about your dreams, right? Then it's not their cup of tea. This is a secret between you and I. This is our journey. Stop advertising your fingerprints to everybody. They will steal your identity. I cannot emphasize this enough. It's your purpose. It's your unique identification. Treasure it. Right. So that's what just I was here to say today, that yeah, your spiritual purpose is that divine task you've been given. You came in this realm to execute, and we are unable to remember what we're here to do because, number one, it's to save the baby from getting overwhelmed by so much knowledge which they cannot carry out because they're still tiny and fragile. Number two, it's because maybe your soul purpose is not yet ready to be carried out, so you will not remember what it is. Or number three, it's because you are not yet spiritually awakened, so you cannot carry out your soul purpose. So be open-minded. And lastly, take accountability of your own spirituality, because your journey is your journey. You can never share it with anybody else. In as much as you can have your guru or your teacher or your guide or whatever it is, that person you're using to guide you through your spiritual journey, they are not you. They are not in your journey. They are not in your path. They're just there to assist you. Even then, do not disclose everything, especially your dreams and visions, to these people, because they may not be genuine light workers. Even if they are not on your path, so they cannot understand every nitty-gritty. So take full control and accountability of your own spiritual journey. This is your unique identity. It's your fingerprints. Stop selling or advertising your fingerprints to everybody. They will steal your identity. Just meditate, pray, or do whatever really. Nobody is here to judge you. Nobody knows right and wrong, really. It's just morals and societal norms and standards which were crafted by people. So we're not here to judge you on how you tap into the spiritual realm or your God space, as long as nothing and nobody is hurt in the process and you are content with the consequences. Then who are we to judge, right? Love, light, peace, and harmony. I am the beacon of light, Element, signing out. Checkmate.